Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
And that's what we seeing today. Hey, my brother with the red shirt, you got a second, bro? You believe in the Bible? You believe in the Bible, my brother? A little bit? What? Okay, so what don't you believe when it comes to the Bible? What's confusing? Just give me 2 minutes if you ain't busy. Give me 2 minutes. 2 minutes of your time, all I need. Because we gotta address and figure out what grievances we have with the Bible, and see if it's actually what's written in the Bible. Because oftentimes, the reason a lot of our people stray away from it is what we've been taught in the church. It's what we've been taught in the church. You got 2 minutes for me, bro? You give me 2 minutes. We try to help our people out. Who got a flyer? Somebody get his brother a flyer as well?
I've got it. So done.
Okay. What's your name, bro?
Michael.
Michael, my name's Soraya. So what it is that's confusing you about the Bible and make you just like, I don't know?
Yeah. Well, like, as of now, like, I've been on my, like, own spiritual journey.
Right.
And, like, I feel like when we were created, we didn't need no documentation because they were already stored in us when we were created.
You said we didn't need no, you said documentation?
Yes, like the Bible, like people documented in the Bible. Like, I feel like it's already in us, a book already in us.
So I like something that you said. So, because a lot of our people, even when we say that we really don't believe in the Bible, inadvertently we still kind of do. Because the whole thought of us being created comes from what? Why would we even say that we were created? Why would they even check that thought process exists? Because majority of us, we were raised what? We were taught this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We was taught this. So oftentimes we'll end up trying to stray away from this and still inadvertently or subconsciously hold fast a part of what this is. Because the whole thought of us being created as human beings comes from this, that there's a higher being that made us, right? That logic or that information has been passed down from the Bible. Other religions and other beliefs have adopted it and put their little spin on it, but that chain of thought comes from the biblical text. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm asking you, what is it in here specifically that rubs you the wrong way?
Like how far it go back.
Right.
Like you got ancient artifacts that go back farther than the whole Bible. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. So this is the thing, right? Because when you read in the beginning of this book, it says in the beginning. This is how creation took place. Now, as far as I know, there is nothing that predates in the beginning. Now, what I will agree with you on is that as far as these words being documented and written in the book, the formation of this book did come after a lot of history has already taken place, right? But as far as the events that this book documents, nothing predates these events. If you get what I'm saying? So the information that's in here started off as being what? Passed down through oral tradition. It wasn't written down. So of course there wasn't no book when it talks about in the beginning. There was no book yet. You get what I'm saying? But these events took place. There's nothing that predates in the beginning of what we read in Genesis chapter 1. You get what I'm saying? A lot of us, we get trapped in trying to go back and date when we can find these artifacts in archaeology, but nothing predates in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? There's
and again, like as it being passed down, like I know information can get sucked down and watered down.
Correct.
Like as the information getting passed down through the years.
So I want to show you something. So because this is the reason. Because have you seen this out here before?
probably have seen God.
Okay. I want to show you why is it that we stand 10 toes down on this book. Because it may seem weird, like, why are these Negroes out here teaching this book? A lot of us be like, oh, it's a white man book, this, that, and the third. I'm going to show you why, though.
What version is that?
It's a KJV.
Okay.
Right. Yes, ma'am. I'm going to show you why. Go to Deuteronomy 28 right quick. Because there's one thing that's specific about this book that if you can inform me, if you know of any otherwise, that I can't find and no other book does. And it tells us, because we can agree, even though this book is not the earliest thing written, right? We can agree that this thing is older, let's say older than, 1,000 years. We can agree it's 1,000 years old, right? All right. Now watch what it says about things that would take place. Let's see if they took place. Deuteronomy 28, verse 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So just to get you up to speed, are you familiar with Moses, the person Moses? He freed his people out of bondage in Egypt, passed through the Red Sea, right? So this is Moses speaking to the people he just freed out of Egypt, which would be these 12 tribes right here. The 12 descendants of Jacob, or Israel, right? He's telling these people that he just freed, if you don't keep the commandments that the Lord gave me to teach you, then the Lord later on will put curses upon you. So this will happen to their children, the generations to come after them, right? Now let's listen to what he's describing, what would take place to their children. Verse 64.
Verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth, even unto the other. And thou shalt serve other gods, which neither nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
So, one of those curses that he said would befall their children is that they would be scattered from one end of the earth to the other, right? So I want you to think about this now. They just left out of Egypt. Let me see if it's on this sign. Where would Egypt be on this sign? Gotta orientate myself. Okay, Egypt will be in this east corner of Africa, the top northeast. They just left out of here. They're in the wilderness, right? So if Moses is telling them you're going to be scattered from one end of the earth even to the other. Now we know that this side of the earth is today, they call it the Eastern Hemisphere or whatever, right? So they would leave this side of the earth going where? To the other side, which is the Western Hemisphere, North America, North, Central, South America is what we know it as today. So Moses is telling these people, if you don't listen and keep the commandments, the Lord is going to scatter you, right? Who befits this or feels this history? Who did this happen to as demographics of people? That we can say, we can track them leaving from one side of the earth even to the other. They were forcefully scattered. Who, you said, black men, absolutely. That's our history. Well, watch what he said. Well, watch what he says is going to happen. Keep reading.
Verse
65, yeah.
Verse 65. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest.
So it says, among the places or nations that you're scattered, amongst these people, you're not going to find any ease or rest. The sole of your foot will not have rest. Because in our history, when we got scattered to the lands that we were, and because this is a map of the transatlantic slave trade, the different places they took us from and where it went. So when we got to these different locations, what did we do when we get there? Did they just like, okay, we wanted to bring you here for a vacation, y'all can kick your feet up and rest? Or what did they have us do? We were slaves. We worked from sun up, sun down. Minimal food, minimal water. Right? Now what the Bible said what happened when we get to these places?
And among these nations shalt thou find no ease. Neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind.
So he said, not only will we not rest, but he's going to put in our spirits to where we're always fearful. Think about when we watch movies like 12 Years a Slave, 12 Years a Slave, Roots, what's some other ones? Amistad, that's a very good one too. Things like that. When we watch movies like that, what was the mentality of the slaves that was on them ships, on them plantations? They were full of fear. They had their families being separated away from them. They were seeing big grown men being pulled apart by horses, being burned alive, being beat to death. We had fear instilled into us. God said he will put that in our heart. He will put that in our spirit. So what we're reading about is the Bible. We agreed it's 1,000 years old, so that's at least what? We in 2023? Let's just say 1,023. Let's say it was written in 1,023, right? This still will predate what took place in the 1600s that we know and we've learned in school. Right. And we know our people experience. So I don't know any other book that documents or predates and tells us about what will befall us as a race and why it would happen. Because remember, he said these things will happen if we did what? We broke God's commandments. You read in the Bible, our people, our ancestors, which are these 12 tribes, we have a history of breaking God's commandments. So he made his words true. He said, I will scatter you to the four corners of the earth. When you get there, you're going to start to serve other gods. Because what was forced upon us when we got to America? Christianity. Christianity. We was forced to learn this right here. This man right here, he's not in the Bible.
Right.
The Bible does not describe Christ as looking at this man at all.
That's right.
Nowhere. But we was forced to believe in this. That's why a lot of people run away from the Bible. Because we were forced to believe in stuff like this right here. And it don't exist. It's not biblical. But the point is that I don't know no other book that prophesies or tell me what will befall my people before it happened, and I get to live and I can see it.
That's right.
I can see it. You know any other book? So to me, that shows what? That this book is true. It's true. But watch this. There's a lot more. 37. Verse 37.
Verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, where the Lord shall lead thee.
So he already said we will be scattered to these nations, right? And he said amongst these nations you're going to become a proverb, a byword, and an astonishment. Do you know what a byword is? Yeah, a byword. We don't use it that often in our normal everyday vocabulary, right? So a byword would be, it's a term or a word that will become synonymous with a person, place, or thing. So for an example, right? I say, I'll give an example. So if I say black people today, now I know that there's no race of people that actually looks like my pants, right? Or the name or the word black itself is not a word to describe an actual race. But when somebody actually says black people, everybody know what everybody talking about. We know that you're talking about so-called African American people, the people who was brought here as slaves. It becomes synonymous with us. The Lord told us we will have words placed on us that would be like that. That's why today you got a lot of people call us niggas, blacks. We got, at one point in time, we was called coloreds, Negroes, Afro-Americans. You wonder why we have a history of our name or nationality being changed every 10, 20 years. Because God said that when we get to these different lands, that will befall us. Even in Jamaica, the people there became Jamaicans. In Puerto Rico, they became Puerto Ricans, or Boricuas is what they call themselves. All these different terms to describe one race of people. But so believe it or not, we are the same race as those that was taken to Cuba. We are the same race as those that were taken to Haiti. We are the same race as those that were taken to Jamaica. The only thing that separates us is stops. Right. One boat stopped here, one boat stopped here. It's the same race. But you got 50 different names describing the same race. And it causes what? Division, a divide, to where we don't feel like we're the same race. I look at him, I'm like, he Haitian, I don't know nothing about that. Right. You know what I'm saying? He with that Zoe stuff, I don't know nothing about all that.
They divided the races because they knew that we would be stronger together.
Absolutely. It's an old war tactic. Old war tactic. But God allowed, what I'm trying to get y'all to see is God allowed these things to take place to us. And it's not because he got no hatred for us, but just like how you got, was your son or daughter? All praise is beautiful. Just like you have your children, if they disobey you, what you gonna do? You're not gonna congratulate them for it. You're gonna punish them. You're gonna show some type of chastisement. And us being God's children, he deal with us likewise, except it ain't no simple tap on the cheeks or tap on the legs. His version of a butt whooping is, I'm gonna send a whole nother race of people against you and they gonna make y'all slaves. Since you don't wanna serve me, I'm gonna make you serve other people then. And they're gonna treat you way worse than I would treat you.
Right.
And that's it. Go to Deuteronomy 8:5. Watch this. And the Bible says it. Watch this. Deuteronomy 8:5. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 8 verse 5. Thou shalt also consider in thine heart that as a man chasteneth his son, so the Lord thy God chasteneth thee.
So just like how you're gonna chasten your son and your daughter for going off and doing things that you didn't instruct them to do, our Heavenly Father has done it. He's still doing it today. And that explains why we got incidents like Rasheem Carter, that's in Mississippi. They done found the brother's remains with his head cut off, his spine severed from his head, and they try to figure out what happened to him. You got incidents like Breonna Taylor, incidents like George Floyd. It's too many to name at this point. We wondering why these things going on, and we want to march and protest against it, not understanding that there's a power that be that's allowing this to happen. It's not out of hatred, but he's trying to get us to see that the direction that you're going down is not the direction I got for you to go down. And that's why all this evil is happening to you.
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models.